Ever pour yourself a drink after a long day and wonder, how did this actually get here?
Right.
Well, today we're cracking open the world of wholesale merchants in beverages.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
So, you're thinking about a career move, and this field caught your eye. Smart move, by the way.
It is a hidden gem,
Seriously, the earning potential is surprisingly high.
Yeah, and it's not just like moving boxes around a warehouse.
Okay, so more than meets the eye.
A good wholesale merchant, they're like strategists, connecting the dots between, what people are thirsty for and how to get it to them.
All right, you're making me thirsty. But before we start popping bottles, let's unpack this career. We've got a stack of resources from RoleCatcher for this deep dive.
They're a career development platform. Like if you're job hunting, they're your secret weapon.
For sure.
Hmm.
And one thing I think gets overlooked is how tech-driven this field is becoming.
Oh, absolutely. It's not your grandma's beverage industry anymore.
Seriously, we're talking AI algorithms sorting through resumes, online marketplaces connecting everyone.
It's a whole new ball game.
Right. Like gone are the days of dropping off a paper resume and hoping for the best. Speaking of tech, I checked out RoleCatcher's AI resume builder thing.
Oh, yeah.
Wild. You upload your resume, and it helps you tailor it for specific jobs.
That's so crucial in a competitive market.
Totally. But even with a stellar resume, you need to, understand what employers actually want.
It's true.
Not just checking boxes, showcasing the skills that make a wholesale merchant truly successful.
100%.
So let's break those skills down. RoleCatcher's career guide for wholesale merchants. They emphasize analytical thinking, negotiation skills. So it's not just about being a people person.
Well, being personable helps for sure, but you need like sharp business acumen too.
So give me an example, like what's that look like in action?
Okay, so imagine you're a wholesale merchant and you're negotiating a deal with a big restaurant chain.
Okay, big deal. I'm picturing it.
You need to analyze their sales data, figure out their pricing model, and then negotiate a deal that works for both sides. It's like high-stakes chess, but with drinks.
Now that's what I'm talking about. I love how you're painting that picture of what they do. But can we back up a bit? What does the career path actually look like? Like, where do you even start in this field?
Like a lot of industries, you often start at the ground level.
Right. Got to pay your dues.
Yeah, and RoleCatcher's guide, it talks about entry-level roles involving a lot of research.
Okay, interesting.
Maybe helping with deliveries, really getting to know the products. Like, think of it as your apprenticeship, in the world of beverages.
So you're not just learning the business, you're like tasting the goods too.
Right.
I bet that's a perk of the job.
It's definitely a plus.
Get to try all those cool new drinks.
You get exposed to a huge variety, from like craft beers to imported wines.
Fancy.
Even those like sparkling waters everyone's raving about these days.
Oh yeah, everyone's got to have their fancy water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not all sipping and socializing.
Right. There's got to be some work involved.
The guide definitely emphasizes like building your knowledge base early on.
Okay, makes sense. So you got to know your stuff. Speaking of which, how important is formal education in this field? Like, do you need a fancy degree to get started?
RoleCatcher mentions a bachelor's degree being pretty common,
Right.
often in business or something related.
Makes sense.
But what's interesting is they highlight that experience can be just as valuable,
Right.
especially in a field like this. It's so hands-on.
So, like, someone with years of experience, say, in restaurant management, they'd have a leg up even without a specific degree in, like, beverage distribution.
Exactly. Think about it. They already get inventory management, customer service, maybe even have existing relationships with suppliers, which is huge.
That's gold.
Right.
Okay, so you put in the work, climbed the ladder a bit, and now you're a full-fledged wholesale merchant. What's a typical day like for you? Is it all like high-pressure negotiations and closing these big deals?
There's definitely an element of that, especially as you move up. But a good wholesale merchant, they're also like a master planner organizer. RoleCatcher's guide, they use this phrase I love. They ensure the smooth and efficient distribution of products.
Ooh, I like that. It sounds like it takes a certain kind of person to handle all that.
Yeah.
So what personality traits make someone a good fit for this?
Well, if you thrive on variety, juggling multiple tasks, you'd probably enjoy this world.
Okay, so good with chaos.
Yeah. Adaptable. Because the beverage industry is always evolving,
Right.
New trends popping up all the time.
Oh, for sure.
Like, remember those hard seltzers a few years back?
Oh, yeah, everyone was drinking those.
Exactly, took over. So you got to be on top of that.
You need to be able to spot those trends and know how to, like, capitalize on them, right?
Exactly. And that requires not just like being observant, but being a persuasive communicator. You got to convince buyers to try new products.
Oh, I see. So you're like a trendsetter in a way.
In a way, yeah.
That's pretty cool, getting to be at the forefront of what people are drinking. But I imagine there's also a lot of pressure to stay ahead of the curve.
Oh, there definitely is. The guide mentions competition being fierce in this industry.
Yeah, I bet.
And with online platforms, it's easier than ever for buyers and sellers to connect directly.
So how does a wholesale merchant even stand out? So how do you do that? How do you stand out from the crowd in such a competitive field?
It really is the million-dollar question.
Right.
You've got the people skills, your, what was it?
Merlot from your Melbeck?
Yeah, exactly. But how do you become like the go-to person in the beverage world?
Okay, I'm listening.
It goes back to those relationships.
The ones we talked about before.
Yeah, but it's deeper than just, shaking hands at a conference. It's about truly understanding what your buyers need, what your suppliers can offer.
So it's almost like you're a matchmaker,
100%.
like connecting the right drink with the right customer.
Exactly. And that goes way beyond just knowing the products themselves. RoleCatcher's guide, it talks about understanding the market, even local preferences.
Oh, interesting.
Like a craft beer that's selling like crazy in a trendy bar,
Yeah,
that might not work at a family-friendly restaurant.
totally different vibe.
Right. You got to read the room or I guess read the menu.
It sounds like it takes a keen eye to really nail this role.
It does.
You need to analyze data, you have to understand people, and then on top of that, figure out the next big thing.
Absolutely. And we haven't even talked about the logistics.
Oh, right. There's a whole other side to this.
Huge part of it. Wholesale merchants, they're like logistics wizards,
Yeah.
making sure the right products get to the right place at the right time.
Okay, so no pressure.
Great. Imagine a big summer festival is coming up. Everyone needs a certain type of cooler.
Everyone's got to stay refreshed.
Exactly. And it's your job to make sure those coolers are there.
Wow, yeah. That's a lot of responsibility. So for someone who's, drawn to this field, but maybe a little intimidated by all this, what advice would you give them?
I'd say don't be afraid to start small.
Okay, good advice.
RoleCatcher's guide even suggests volunteering.
Oh, like where?
Beer festivals, local wineries, things like that.
Just to get your foot in the door.
Exactly. Show you're passionate, you're eager to learn.
Passion goes a long way.
It really does. And then use those experiences to build your network, talk to people, ask questions, learn everything you can about this industry.
Knowledge is power.
Big time. And honestly, don't underestimate mentorship. Find someone killing it in the field. Learn from the best.
Love it. So, speaking of knowledge, let's loop back to RoleCatcher one last time. For someone serious about this career, how can their platform help?
Honestly, it's like having a career coach in your pocket, 24/7.
No way.
I'm serious. From crafting that resume, to prepping for interviews, to understanding salary expectations, they've got you covered.
Wow, that's really impressive. So they take out a lot of the guesswork.
Exactly. And like we've been talking about, this is a competitive field.
Very competitive.
Having those tools, those insights, can really give you an edge.
So for anyone out there feeling inspired to explore the world of wholesale beverage distribution, it sounds like passion and a little bit of tech savvy can really go a long way.
For sure. It's challenging, absolutely, but so rewarding. And with the right tools, the right mindset, the possibilities are kind of endless.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you know what? This deep dive has given me a whole new appreciation for every sip, every perfectly chilled glass.
Right. It makes you think.
It really does. And who knows, maybe out there's some future beverage mogul just waiting to make their mark.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, thanks for joining me on this fascinating journey. It's been a blast.
Anytime.
And for our listeners, until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, cheers.